So finding good, well-balanced, nutrient-dense snacks to feed your kids and your family can be really difficult. And in fact, I don't even like getting my kids snacks often because I just can never find ones that I really think are nourishing and well-balanced. But we have found something that we love that I'm gonna share with you what it is and how you make it. The reason I'm not a big fan of snacks is because oftentimes I think snacks are just usually pretty junk foody. It's hard to get really good nutrient-dense snacks, especially ones that have a good blend of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And it's really important to have snacks that have a good blend of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, and so your blood sugar doesn't come up and then crashing down if you just have carbohydrates, which is what our typical snacks look like when you think about a piece of fruit or grab a handful of crackers or whatever you might have for a snack. And so finding a snack that blends good carbohydrates with nourishing proteins especially is really important to me when I feed a snack to my family. So the thing that we have found that we love are really nutrient-dense gummies. They're sweet, they're delicious, they taste like a treat, but they provide a really good blend of sweetness and carbohydrates from the fruit, but then protein from the gelatin in the gummies. And they're really easy to make. And so today we're gonna make elderberry gummies. Now I love elderberry gummies because they blend elderberry syrup, which is one of our favorite things to forage and make every late summer, early fall, in gelatin form. So it's a great way to get in the really immune boosting powers that elderberry syrup has, but then also the protein from your gelatin. And so my favorite recipe for elderberry syrup is from Rosemary Gladstar's Medicinal Herbs Beginner's Guidebook. This book is awesome for anyone looking to get started in herbal medicine and foraging and all of those things. This is a great one for that. So I use her elderberry syrup recipe, and that's just one of our family's favorite things to do. You guys, you can find elderberry plants like along the side of the road if you keep your eyes out and you know what you're looking for. They're everywhere. You can seriously find them everywhere. So come August, we just have bags in the back of our car, and anytime we spot a good bunch of elderberries that looks like an area that wouldn't have been sprayed, that we can jump out of our car, collect a bunch of elderberries, and then we just make a big batch of elderberry syrup for our family for the whole year. And then I use the elderberry syrup to make these delicious gummies. And so really all it is a combination of your elderberry syrup with gelatin, and that's it. I also like to add honey to ours because when I made my elderberry syrup, I kind of went a little less on the honey. I didn't add a ton of sweetness. And so just a little quarter cup of honey, I think really helps add a lot of flavor and deliciousness to this recipe. So I do add a quarter cup of honey, but if you think your elderberry syrup is plenty sweet as it is, you can totally omit that extra honey. But all you're gonna do is add 1 cup of your elderberry syrup, and you're gonna heat that up on your stovetop. And now you wanna heat it up so that it's warm. It doesn't need to be bubbling, but just so that it's warm and steaming. You don't wanna mix in the gelatin when the elderberry syrup is cold, because if you do, it's just gonna gel right away. It's gonna turn into a hard gelatin clump, and then you're not gonna be able to pour it into your molds. So heat up your elderberry syrup till it's warm, and then stir in your quarter cup of gelatin. Now my favorite brand of the gelatin is this Great Lakes gelatin. This stuff is my preferred sourcing for gelatin. So you're gonna heat up your cup of your elderberry syrup, and then you're gonna throw in, once it's heated up, throw in your quarter cup of gelatin. You'll wanna work pretty quickly stirring it up so that you don't get any clumps of gelatin in your gummies. So once it's nice and stirred, I take it off the stove, and then I pour in the honey or maple syrup if you want to add a little bit of sweetness to it. But if your elderberry syrup's plenty sweet, just omit that step. And then you're gonna pour it into your silicone molds. Now they have really cute molds out there of all different shapes and things like that. These are the ones that we had, so these are the ones that we're gonna use, but pour it into your silicone molds and then pop that in the fridge and it doesn't take long. Once it's cooled down, the elderberry gummies will take form, and then you're good to go. So yeah, use what you have. You don't need any fancy equipment for this. You can save tons of money by making your own elderberry syrup and using your own molds or muffin cups or whatever you have. So if you need something for your kids' lunch boxes or on the go when you're on a hike, these gelatin gummies are a great option. So we love them. If you're looking for more homestead how-tos, nourishing recipes, or tips for natural living, we'd love it if you'd subscribe to our channel, and we will see you in the next one.